Well, you got to be up early now if you're going to catch this in real time. Are you? I'm going to release this an hour early so that you can at 4:21 a.m. Eastern this morning. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. It is a full moon Monday, and it's an early one, 4:21 a.m. Eastern Time. The Gemini moon is full. Glad you're with us here to begin the week. If you were with your family and friends over the holiday weekend, hope you had a wonderful time. We do have an early bird full moon. It is in Gemini, and where I'm sitting, perched here in North Carolina, up on the side of the mountain, it is in the 8th house. The moon is in Gemini, so that puts the sun over, as they say around here, over yonder in the 2nd house. And at least it's in Sagittarius, and so is Mars, right next door. 2 degrees Mars, 4 degrees for the sun, and it is an aspect at 4 degrees 51 minutes, the full moon. Now let's go ahead and set up some of the other, I think, significant things that we should consider energetically today. Of course, the full moon is the 900-pound gorilla. We'll come back and talk about some of it more, but it's also in a big T-square, and that's something that we need to point out, because not only are we talking about the moon in the 8th house, but we're also talking about Saturn being at the top of this T-square. So one square goes to the moon, the other square goes to the sun and Mars. Those are in opposition of each other. Boom, there's your energy du jour. But wait, there's more, because Mercury today actually squares up with Neptune. It's an early morning as well, 8:27 aspect. Mercury at the tail end of Sagittarius. Neptune getting toward the tail end of Pisces. So boom, there's a square. And then Pluto has 2 coming off of it, so there's another T-square. One square goes over to the south node, the other square goes over to Venus and the north node. Can we all collectively say, wow? Because that's a lot of energy. And if you notice the names of those players, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, the nodes of the moon, oh my. Maybe we need to howl again. Ow! I did that at Walmart the other day. I was walking out of Walmart, saw the moon, and went, "Ow!" Not real loud, but "Ow!" Just looking at it, like getting ready. Look, there's one thing that you can break out of all of this. It's transformation, right? I mean, the 8th house moon right there stops you in your tracks and says, we're going to be working on something. Pluto is at the bending of the nodes, if you will, or it's in a T-square to the nodes. Going to be a window to take a look at something inside and see if we can make a shift, shifting realities. You know, this big term that the audiobook Parallel Universes of Self that I narrated for Fred Dodson has become so popular on TikTok because it's in this keyword shifting realities, shift talk, what they say now. Shifting realities. That's what transformation is all about. And it shouldn't be a scary thing if you're walking your highest timeline. These kids that are eating up Parallel Universes of Self and listening to Chapter 5 of the Pure Technique and all of this, man, they are just celebrating it. Yes, shift my reality. I would love that. Well, think of the caterpillar and the butterfly. The only reason we would resist something related to this kind of chart is if we're clinging to it. If you can pry your fingers off of whatever it is that shows up in your life, whatever your transformation du jour is, well, then it's easy. Then it's like the TikTok video. They get on there, they're so precious. I shifted my reality. Well, I mean, that's what Pluto is all about and what Saturn is all about. So we can celebrate this full moon, and Gemini in the 8th house speaks itself to dual realities. That's kind of the premise that Fred wrote that book from. I haven't mentioned that book lately, but it went totally viral. A video of me narrating about 3 minutes of the book went super viral on TikTok back in July or August. And a lot of people have been picking up the book, and it's kind of a talk thing over there. You can search it up. There are several videos that have been done on it. And it's all about transforming your reality in the world of infinity, which is multiple realities, not just shifting from A to B, but shifting from what you want into whatever you create and envision for your life. And that's what the book is about. So it really does speak to this full moon because it is in the house of transformation. Gemini, the dual sign. I was a caterpillar, now I'm a butterfly. Taurus, ruled by Venus, the sign of balance, Some even say that Libra, Venus with the scales and the balance, is a dual sign. Well, this full moon is in the other Venus-ruled sign of Taurus, which also relates to money, and the 8th house is other people's money. And the karmic flip side of that is what is valuable to you, your money, but also what is valuable to you, including self-value. Now we're getting closer to the crown jewels of the transformation, and Mars sitting right next to the Sun. Are you willing to shine doubly bright? Mars, Sun, in double sign Sagittarius, Moon in Gemini, double sign, Saturn in a T-square to the Sun and the Moon in double sign Pisces. Do you hear the drumbeat? Okay, if you don't want to get all philosophical, just go to YouTube and search up Seinfeld, George Does the Opposite, and watch the video. It's about 4 minutes long, and you will get this full moon. If every instinct you ever had was wrong, then the opposite would have to be right. My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents. There you go. Do the opposite. I'm Victoria. Hi. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's priceless, and it's this full moon. Get up out of your seat and go do something different. Take an opposite action. Look at an old behavior that you just default back into time after time after time, and you look at it on the backside and you go, I did it again. Do the opposite. Take the path of transformation. Dare to flirt with Pluto and Saturn on the positive side and see what happens. Dare to be wrong or mistaken or even shamed for the chance at, "Hi, Victoria, I'm George." In fact, we've just mentioned all these squares and T-squares. There's the tension, because in the little skit, George didn't want to get up out of his seat. There's the pull. We don't want to change. Well, astrology is our guide, and it couldn't speak any more clearly and loudly today. So I hope that whatever your path is and whatever your challenges are, I hope that you'll take a look at this and just realize that there is something about creating value for you, just like George did in the little skit. I deserve more. Get up out of your seat, take a chance at something different, play the opposite side, and summons Saturn and Pluto and say, "Come on, help me this time. Let's go play." I wish you the very best with it. And one more time, Ow!